Hey, what's up, everybody? It is I, TJ, co-host of the Now Mind You podcast, back with a new review of the latest chapter of Tokyo Revengers. Tokyo Revengers, of course, by Ken Wakui. There will be spoilers up ahead, so if you're not caught up, do what you need to do to get caught up. We are going to review chapter 266, titled Make Vision a Reality. Where did we leave off? It was all about strength until he met the two people that would change his destiny forever, right? We just saw Kisaki's journey with Mikey. Now we're looking at, what's good with Takemichi and Mikey. Let me get into the summary. We're back in the present, and sure enough, Takemichi has got back up. It's time for round 2 of their battle. Let me get into my review. I will admit I didn't expect the flash forward to occur this soon, but I'm glad we're back in the present day. That being said, there are some key events in the manga involving Takemichi and Mikey where I would have liked to see them from Mikey's perspective, especially around the ousting of Kisaki from Toman. He always finds himself inside of me. Phrasing. Shout out Archer. Well, the flashbacks are over, and like we all predicted, Takemichi is indeed back up on his feet. Let's also keep in mind, too, that the reason Mikey and Takemichi are the only active combatants on the battlefield right now, that construction shipping yard, if you will, is because Mikey took out everybody right before the flashbacks began. Here's the thing, though. As stubborn, unrelenting, and determined as Takemichi is, even with him having made promises across timelines, it's still Mikey. Despite that, Takemichi looked hella manly in that I've thrown away all my fear panel right after it flashed back to, him talking with Hina-chan, right? Then, of course, it's the typical shonen battle manga style beatdown of the unrelenting protagonist. That set of panels with Takemichi's vision and hearing starting to go, right? Shout out to Archer again with the tinnitus. It does not bode well for his future. Main character plot armor almost guarantees that he's going to make it out of this, but living with all his faculties intact is a different story, right? My prediction/questions. Now, with all this being said, Takemichi is saying that he's the only one who can save Mikey, but, based on what we've seen, Mikey clearly does not want to be saved. Even if you go further back, any timeline, it looks like Mikey doesn't want to be saved. And after everything we've seen, is Mikey even worthy of salvation? Now, the way things like this usually work is that he'll probably acquiesce at some point, but I can see at least 2 possibilities. Possibility number 1, Mikey accepts Takemichi's salvation, but then somehow dies, probably because Sanzu lunges at Takemichi and Mikey makes that sacrifice play. Or, possibility number 2, Mikey accepts Takemichi's salvation and finally serves time. Not likely, though. And again, these are at least 2 of the possibilities I see. Now, either way, the tragedy of the Sano family somewhat continues. Did the vision come too late, or did Takemichi not get his bearings and react fast enough? That remains to be seen. There will probably be another instance of that in the next chapter. We need to tie up, once again, the loose end of the second time leaper. And again, does Mikey have death flags on him? Right? Still curious about the resemblance between Takemichi and his father. Once again, I thought this was a good chapter. I can't wait to read everyone's thoughts. I gotta give a shout out to Creepy Kid, Guts Guy, Riolu holding it down in the comments as always. Shout out to the Tokyo Revengers subreddit. Shout out to all the communities really out there that check out Tokyo Revengers. And shout out to anyone who's checking this out, right? Listening, watching. I appreciate it. If you like what you're hearing, hit up the main podcast. That would be at Now Mind You Pod on Instagram and Now Mind You Podcast on most of your distribution platforms. But again, Now Mind You Pod, that's NOWMINDYOUPOD on Instagram. If you like what I'm doing, follow me, Tuss4Skate, TUSS _4_SKATE. Thank you all so much. Peace.